You've probably seen endless blogs, quizzes and YouTube videos trying to explain types of people. From articles on introverts and extroverts to full-blown personality systems, humans are obsessed with classifying themselves. One of the most famous models is the MBTI, the Myers-Briggs Type Indicator. It suggests that each of us leans towards certain preferences: introversion or extroversion, thinking or feeling, sensing or intuiting, judging or perceiving. Combine these traits, and you get one of 16 labels that supposedly predicts how you tend to think, act, and relate. In Eastern Europe, a related system called socionics uses similar ideas, but focuses more on how different types interact with each other, who naturally clicks, and who clashes. Another big framework is the Enneagram. Instead of focusing on how you take in information, it looks at your core obsession or wound, something shaped early in life. From that, it places you into one of 9 types that describe your basic motivation, your go-to strategies, and your emotional vices and virtues. And then there's the anthropological angle, personality shaped by culture, generation, geography, money, and social roles. People from different backgrounds may behave differently, not because they're a type, but because they learn different rules of survival. All of these models can give you useful insights into your friends, partners, and colleagues. But there's a trap. They can also become oversimplified and rigid. Real people are messy. No single system can capture everything. Think of personality models as maps, not reality. Helpful, but limited. We already know people are different. You can see it just by watching them. Psychologists simply try to make sense of these differences. Let's walk through some of the most common personality lenses. At the simplest level, introverts recharge when they're alone. Being around people drains them, even when they like those people. They can enjoy social time, but they need regular solitude to reset. Extroverts are the opposite. They gain energy from other people. Silence and isolation feel heavy. They come alive in noise, conversation, and movement. Most of us are not pure introverts or pure extroverts. We sit somewhere on a spectrum. You might be mostly introverted but still enjoy parties with a small, trusted group. Or you might be extroverted but secretly love the rare evening alone where nobody needs you. Psychologist Dan McAdams describes introversion-extroversion as a continuous dimension rather than a sharp either-or. Most ordinary people borrow traits from both ends. You see it at work. Extroverts enjoy busy schedules, meetings, travel, and constant interaction. Trap them behind a desk with no people and they wither. Introverts quickly burn out in noisy, chaotic environments with constant change. They prefer a calm, predictable space where they can focus deeply without being interrupted every 5 minutes. In between lies the ambivert, someone who genuinely contains elements of both. They can handle people and solitude, activity and stillness, depending on the day. If you've ever read about training or diet, you've probably seen body types. Ectomorph, mesomorph, endomorph. Most people stop there. But psychologist William Sheldon tried to connect these shapes to personality traits. Ectomorphs have lighter frames, less obvious muscle, narrow limbs. They often look slim or delicate. Sheldon linked this build with emotional sensitivity and a tendency to feel things deeply. Mesomorphs carry more muscle and look naturally athletic. They may not even train much, but their bodies respond quickly to physical activity. Psychologically, they're often seen as determined, resilient, and robust. Endomorphs have rounder bodies, softer lines, and tend to gain weight more easily, particularly around the midsection. Stereotypically, they're described as warm, sociable, and fun-loving. In reality, most people are blends, not pure types. You'll meet sensitive mesomorphs, tough ectomorphs, and quiet endomorphs. The model is an interesting lens, not a verdict. Another famous divide is Type A versus Type B. Type A individuals are driven, competitive, and intensely goal-focused. They set high standards, push themselves hard, and often struggle to relax. They like structure, deadlines, and clear targets, and they get frustrated when others move slowly or plans fall apart. Type B individuals take a more relaxed approach. They can still be successful, but they don't obsess over every detail or live in constant urgency. They're more laid back, slower to anger, and often better at handling stress, but may also drift into procrastination or lack of follow-through. These tendencies develop from both genes and upbringing. Growing up in a high-pressure, achievement-focused family can nudge someone toward Type A traits. Growing up with a more easygoing model can encourage Type B patterns. Both styles come with strengths and weaknesses. Type A gets things done but can damage health and relationships through stress and impatience. Type B creates a calmer atmosphere but may need a push to meet tight deadlines. The key is not to judge people purely through this label, but to understand what motivates them and what drains them. Title: The 16 Myers-Briggs Personality Types MBTI. The MBTI has become internet famous. It splits people into 16 four-letter combinations using these preferences, i.e., introvert or extrovert SN, sensing or intuiting TF, thinking or feeling JP, judging or perceiving. Each type gets a nickname. Here's a quick tour with the core flavor and a few typical careers. State TJ, the inspector, quiet, organized, detail-oriented. They value structure and responsibility, but can be rigid or critical when others don't meet their standards. Common roles: accountant, analyst, dentist, detective, lawyer. ISTP, the crafter, hands-on, practical and calm under pressure. They enjoy new experiences and risks, but tend to keep their emotions private. Common roles: engineer, mechanic, pilot, firefighter, software developer. ISFJJ, the protector, warm, reliable, loyal. They remember small details about people and like taking care of others, sometimes at their own expense. Common roles: nurse, administrator, teacher, bookkeeper, social worker. ISFP, the artist, gentle, action-oriented and present-focused. They'd rather quietly do things than endlessly talk about them. They often love nature, animals and hands-on creativity. Common roles: artist, designer, chef, nurse, vet, social worker. INFJ, the advocate, idealistic and private. They care deeply about meaning and want to help people grow, but still need time away from others to recharge. Common roles: counselor, writer, teacher, artist, religious worker. INFPF, the mediator, big picture dreamers with strong values. They're gentle and caring but can miss practical details and may be hard to truly get to know. Common roles: writer, therapist, designer, librarian, social worker. INTJ, the architect, strategic, independent thinkers. They like complex problems, long-term planning and logical systems, and prefer competence over chaos. Common roles: scientist, engineer, lawyer, doctor, judge, teacher. INTP, the thinker, analytical and curious. They love theories and abstract ideas, but can be distant or lost in thought, even while caring deeply for a few close people. Common roles: the programmer, scientist, mathematician, engineer, pharmacist. ESTP, the persuader, energetic, action-driven and observant. They read situations quickly, adapt fast, and get bored easily if things move too slowly. Common roles: sales, entrepreneur, paramedic, detective, police officer. ESTJ, the director, practical leaders who like order and clear rules. They're efficient and decisive, but can come across as bossy or blunt. Common roles: manager, banker, judge, military officer, politician. ESFP, the performer, outgoing, spontaneous and entertaining. They live in the moment, love people and fun, but often neglect long-term planning. Common roles: actor, musician, coach, fashion designer, HR, social worker. ESFJ, the caregiver, sociable, nurturing and organized. They enjoy helping and supporting others, and also crave appreciation and approval in return. Common roles: nurse, teacher, receptionist, childcare provider, doctor. ENFP, the champion, enthusiastic, imaginative, and people-oriented. They mix fun with empathy and love, inspiring others, but can struggle with routine and structure. Common roles: journalist, counselor, nurse, politician, psychologist. ENFJ, the giver, charismatic and generous. They rally people, encourage growth, and often put others' needs ahead of their own, sometimes to their own cost. Common roles: teacher, coach, HR manager, counselor, sales rep. ENTP, the debater, quick-witted idea generators. They enjoy arguing, exploring possibilities and challenging assumptions, and can be insensitive when carried away. Common roles: inventor, lawyer, journalist, entrepreneur, scientist. ENTJ, the commander, assertive, strategic leaders. They like taking charge, making decisions, and driving projects forward, but may overlook emotions and patience. Common roles: CEO, business analyst, lawyer, professor, manager. Again, these are patterns, not cages. Another powerful lens is the Enneagram. It uses 9 numbered types, each with a core drive and fear. Briefly, the reformer, principled, perfectionistic, driven by right and wrong. The helper, caring, people-pleasing, generous but sometimes possessive. The achiever, success-oriented, image-conscious, adaptable and competitive. The individualist, sensitive, dramatic, focused on uniqueness and identity. The investigator, analytical, private, observant, comfortable with solitude. The loyalist, security-oriented, vigilant, anxious about loyalty and commitment. The enthusiast, fun-loving, optimistic, easily distracted, avoids pain. The challenger, strong-willed, confrontational, protective, can be domineering. The peacemaker, easygoing, conflict-avoidant, accommodating, sometimes passive. Many people use both MBTI and Enneagram together. MBTI for how you process, Enneagram for why you move through the world. A few crucial distinctions. Nature versus nurture. MBTI is rooted in Jung's ideas and leans more toward inborn cognitive preferences, traits you're wired with, and then develop. The Enneagram focuses more on early emotional experiences and learned coping strategies, patterns shaped by upbringing. Negatives. MBTI lists strengths and weaknesses, including inferior functions, skills that are less developed but can grow. The Enneagram often leads with the type's core defect or obsession, the shadow that drives behavior. Analytical versus holistic. MBTI is structured and modular, built from 4 clear dichotomies. The Enneagram gives you a more holistic archetype, an achiever, a helper, a challenger, labels that instantly evoke a story. Both tools can help you understand yourself and others. The question is, do you prefer a technically detailed breakdown or a more symbolic, story-driven description? Psychologist David Keirsey took inspiration from older 4 temperament theories and built a model that focuses on observable behavior, not just inner thought processes. You take a 70-item test with 2 choices per question, and your answers place you in one of 4 broad temperaments: artisan, action-oriented, hands-on, adaptable. They like tools, tangible results, and making an impact. Subtypes linked to MBTI: ISFP composer, ISTP crafter, ESFP performer, ESTP promoter. Guardian practical, responsible, security-focused. They value stability, duty, and logistics. Subtypes: ISTJ inspector, ISFJ protector, ESFJ provider, ESTJ supervisor. Idealist abstract, growth-oriented, meaning-driven. They look for identity, purpose, and harmony. Subtypes: INFJ counselor, INFP healer, ENFJ teacher, ENFP champion. Rational, strategic, analytical, systems-driven. They aim for mastery and efficiency. Subtypes: INTJ mastermind, INTP architect, ENTJ field marshal, ENTP inventor. The point of all these systems is not to lock people into boxes, but to give you languages for motivation, fear, and desire. Used well, personality models help you understand where someone is coming from, not to limit them, but to connect. If you really want to test someone's emotional intelligence, watch them in love. Romantic relationships are emotional war zones, intense, vulnerable, high stakes. You open up parts of yourself that can be deeply hurt or rejected. The scars can last years. Falling in love doesn't require high IQ or a particular personality type. It happens to almost everyone. But maintaining a healthy relationship absolutely requires emotional skills. When both partners have solid emotional intelligence, they notice each other's feelings, care about the reasons behind them, and can talk about them without turning every disagreement into a war. People with fewer unmet needs, less emotional baggage, usually find it easier to empathize. Someone drowning in their own pain often can't genuinely hear their partner's pain. Their brain is too busy trying to survive. Humans are wired to need empathy. We want to feel that someone sees our pain, cares about it, and stays with us through it. Long before language, we used cries, moans, and facial expressions to signal distress and call others to our side. In early human tribes, being cared for meant survival. Being ignored or abandoned meant danger and possible death. That ancient survival instinct is still inside us. When we're hurting, we reach out. But here's the twist. When we're in intense pain, we often reach out badly. We attack. You don't care about me. If I mattered to you, you'd act differently. Our partner, feeling attacked, goes straight into defense mode, self-protection, not empathy. You can't open your heart to someone who is verbally beating you up. You're too busy dodging blows. So if you want true empathy from a partner, it usually can't be demanded in the middle of an emotional assault. You need to express pain without turning it into a weapon. In romantic relationships, it helps to ask, do I love this person, or do I need them? Am I choosing them freely, or clinging from fear? Needing someone in order to feel complete is a sign of emotional dependency. Loving someone means you want them, but you're not annihilated without them. You can still wish them well even if the relationship ends. Strong relationships are built on two whole people choosing each other, not two half people desperately trying to fill each other's emptiness. Healthy partnership requires honesty and responsibility. If you feel guilty about something, talk about it. If you've done wrong, apologize sincerely. Then let go of guilt if your apology isn't accepted. You can't control their reaction. Take ownership of your emotions instead of blaming your partner for every feeling. Use language like, I feel anxious when this happens. I felt hurt by what was said earlier. Rather than, you make me feel this way. This is all your fault. Your feelings are yours. Share them. Don't throw them like knives. Also, don't expect your partner to read your mind. State your needs clearly instead of hoping they mysteriously guess them. Simple structure for handling difficult moments. Identify the emotion, name what you feel: anger, sadness, fear, shame, disappointment. Express it with I feel, not you never, or you always. Start with yourself. Wait for their response, don't script their answer in your head. Listen to what they actually say. Notice your second wave of feelings. How do you feel about their response? That gives you more information. Decide what this pattern means. If similar negative episodes repeat and nothing changes, you may have to question whether this relationship is healthy for you. If a long string of relationships ends the same way, it may be time to look inward at your own unmet needs and patterns. Nonviolent communication gives a 4-step framework for discussing conflict without turning it into a battlefield. Observation. What actually happened? Feeling. How did you feel? Need. What need is behind that feeling? Request. What are you asking for, clearly and specifically? Imagine you asked your partner to come to an important family event and they refused. The situation escalated into a fight, using NVC. Observation. When I invited you to my family's party and you said you didn't want to come, no labels like rudely or carelessly. Just the facts. Feeling, I felt hurt and disappointed. Need. I need. Because I have a need for support and to feel that you're part of my family life. Request. Would you be willing to talk about what made you say no, and see if there's a compromise? Notice there is no accusation, no mind reading, no dragging an old history. You stay in the present event, your current feeling, your underlying need, and a specific request, while accepting that the answer might still be no. Partners in mature relationships can hear each other's needs without guilt trips, give honest yes or no answers, and keep talking even when they disagree. Used consistently, NVC either strengthens a relationship or reveals clearly when it's time to walk away. By now, you've seen how wide this field really is. Different personality systems, MBTI, Enneagram, Keirsey, and more, different temperaments and body types, different emotional patterns and survival strategies, tools like empathy and NVC for navigating relationships. Analyzing people isn't about becoming some cartoon spy. It's about developing a quiet skill, seeing beneath the surface. Most people drift through conversations without truly paying attention. They miss the body language, the patterns, the tension behind the eyes. They accept the mask and never question what's underneath. You don't have to be one of them. This series has given you a step-by-step way to observe and interpret nonverbal signals, methods to build rapport and make others feel at ease, frameworks for understanding personality differences, techniques for handling emotions, your own and other people's, with more control. But information alone is nothing. If you leave this as interesting knowledge, nothing changes. If you practice, quietly, daily, in real conversations, you become something different, someone who can read the room when others are blind, someone who translates micro-expressions into meaning, Someone who sees intentions that never get spoken. Use these skills well and you can improve your business relationships, deepen friendships, protect yourself from manipulation, influence others in ways that benefit everyone involved. Just remember, come in neutral. Drop the paranoia. Not everyone is out to get you. Most people are just trying to survive with their own fears and flaws. Be discreet. Don't announce that you're analyzing people. The more obvious you are, the less you'll see, and the more others will guard themselves. Practice for a few weeks, then a few months. Refresh your memory when you forget. Let these tools sink into your instincts until reading people becomes second nature. And with that, our 4-part journey comes to a close. Hope you enjoyed this series. See you in the next one.